Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. This is going to be another mood reading vlog. The classics. As you might be able to hear, I'm a little bit under the weather right now. C'est la vie. I'm a little bit under the weather. It snowed again. Happy spring. As you saw last night, I started When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker, which I'm about... How far in did I get? I'm on page 175 right now, and before I give you my thoughts, I thought we could read the blurb together so that we actually know what we're talking about when we're going through what this book is about. So this says, as an assassin for the rebellion group Fjord Ath, Rave's job is to complete orders and never get caught. When a rival bounty hunter turns her world upside down, blood spills, hearts break, and Rave finds herself imprisoned by the Guild of Nobles, a group of powerful fae who turn her into a political statement. Crushed by the loss of his great love, Khan Vagor took the head of a king and donned his melted crown. Now, on a tireless quest to quell the never-ebbing ache in his chest, a clue lures him into the capital's high-security prison, where he stumbles upon the imprisoned Rave. Echoes of the past race between them. There's more to their story than meets the eye, but some truths are too poisonous to swallow. So having just read that, I think we're just about getting past that point in the book right now. I've seen very mixed reviews for this one online. However, I'm really enjoying it. I really like the world building. There is a mammoth glossary at the beginning, different kinds of animals, it's really concise and how it's been laid out, and even the way that time works, and it's just, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. The animals, the magic, the power, it's really cool and ethereal and atmospheric and brutal all at once. I feel like we're just getting to know the characters, so that's been fun. We have a very brutal FMC who's, to say damaged, I feel like is an appropriate word here, and we haven't really gotten too many POV chapters from Khan, our MMC, yet. And there are also diary entries in between, interspersed between the chapters from a different kingdom, and we don't really know how that's going to join in yet. I'm really enjoying it. This is really fun. I love me some dragons, and I love all the different magical creatures and just the way that this is evolving so far. So I'm going to keep reading this. This is really impressing me. Right now it's definitely leaning on the fantasy. I don't see, I guess you can kind of guess where the romance might evolve, but it's not really giving particularly romantic qualities about it. However, the vibe between the two main characters, I'm really interested to unpack that and see why it is the way that it is, because there's something going on there. Whether that's an instinctual thing or some unfolding or overlapping of the past and present, something's going on, and I'm really interested to see how that unfolds throughout the book, as well as just the general plot and vibe. We've really set ourselves up for some political turmoil and interesting magic systems, so I'm hooked. We're going to keep reading this one today, and I will keep you updated and take you along. Okay, it is later in the day I should say. I only read about 70 pages today. Is that all? Oh, I thought I read more. But, okay, this is really interesting. So usually I'm not a big Insta-lust fan, as I think most people are not. But this book has done it in a way that I'm assuming it's going to be a part of the story and the plot unfolding. There's a reason that we're not quite yet aware of as to why there is this sort of instant connection and Insta-lust. But guys, I'm loving this. This feels like a really very intricate, deep fantasy, but at the same time it's quite easy to read and really visual and immersive. I'm locked in. Thoroughly enjoying it so far. I'm just under halfway, so we're gonna keep going. I keep getting distracted because it's so visual. I keep wanting to draw scenes, so then I go on my iPad for an hour, and then I want to read again, and I keep just bouncing between the two. But I'm gonna try and lock into some reading now. Okay, I finished When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This was an interesting book. Like, there were so many moving parts and the scope was massive that it kind of gives me the same feeling I had with Spark of the Everflame, where it's like, it's really setting things up to go in many interesting directions. So I really liked this. I'm giving this 4.5 stars. Fun, 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 fun. And I think next on the reading vlog, mood reading, as per usual, I'd like to do Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen. This one, I've seen some very rave reviews. I'm pretty sure it's a brand new release. So let's just read the blurb. Evelyn can remember all her past lives. She can also remember that in every single one, she's been murdered before her 18th birthday by Arden, a supernatural being linked to her soul. The problem is that she's quite fond of... Sorry, my voice is having a day. The problem is that she's quite fond of the life she's in now, and her little sister needs her in order to stay alive. If Evelyn wants to save her sister, she'll have to find the centuries-old devil who hunts her through each life before they find her first, figure out why she's being hunted, and finally break their curse, and try not to fall in love. Again. So this is a nice special edition, first edition with the shiny edges. And it says at the top, this is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue meets This Is How You Lose the Time War. And I haven't read This Is How You Lose the Time War. It's on my list. Oh, ooh. Look at that. That's beautiful. Maybe that's all love is in the end. An endless tempting of fate. Wait, I love it. So that is going to be the next book on the list. Tomorrow is going to be the last day of March, so I do have to do some filming and editing for my March wrap-up, which will go up the day after. So maybe I can finish this one in this last little bit of the month, and then I will obviously keep taking you along for the mood reading and let you know my thoughts as we go. Okay, I'm about 50 pages in, and when I tell you I am captivated, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. I'm only 50 pages in and I'm just hooked. I'm hooked. I'm loving this. I am loving this. It's so beautiful and eloquent and whimsical, and I'm in. I'm locked in. Hello, good morning. It is the next day. Last night I got to page 165 out of 340-ish, so I think I'm just under halfway. Honestly, I probably could have stayed up and kept reading this, but I am trying to get my sleep schedule back onto a slightly more normal rhythm. So that's where we're at. Thoughts so far. It's quite painful. If that makes sense. This definitely takes the fated lovers to a very distinct place. The current storyline takes place in Wales in 2022, and in between those chapters we get flashback chapters to their previous lives, and usually right at the end of those previous lives. So yes, it's quite painful. We're still not really sure why this is happening, as what's going on. We know the results, which again is just painful, and we're not really sure the why as to what's going on. Yeah, it's just And in this current Wales of 2022, our characters are, well, I won't tell you who Arden is, but Evelyn is, in this incarnation, a woman called Branwell, or a young girl called Branwell, and her sister has cancer, and she is donating her stem cells to help her sister, but the donation is coming after her 18th birthday, so she would like to stay alive, really, past her 18th birthday to save the sister in this lifetime, but she's never lived past her 18th birthday, so we'll see if she is able to save her sister. We shall see if we figure out why on earth this is happening. But I am hooked. I very easily could have stayed up and read this all in one sitting, but for now, I think I'd like to finish this morning before I have to get all my work done for the day, and I will be filming my March reading wrap-up later today to go up tomorrow, so if you're watching this, it's probably already up. Just painful, really. Painful so far, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. This is so hard. It's like you're grieving, the characters are grieving their hundreds of lives and the thousands of years that they have lived, and at the same time you're kind of watching them fall in love in the present, or maybe they're falling in love in the present, but do they not already just love each other always? Painful. Okay, I just took the dog out and got ready, and I'm about to film my March reading wrap up and do some work and editing there. But before I do that, let's go over Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stevens. Whew, that was just beautiful. That was a beautiful exploration of love and grief and humanity, and it was just painful, beautiful. This was stunning. I think a bit of an overshare here, but I do think if I wasn't on Prozac right now, I probably would have cried. As it was, not quite. It probably, without the Prozac, would have given me like a single dramatic tear, but this was just beautiful. I can definitely understand the comparisons to Addie LaRue. It definitely has those vibes, the historical world building, the storytelling, the characters. It was all just beautiful. I'm really tempted to give this one like a 5 stars. I think it's 5 stars. I think this is a 5-star read. Painful, beautiful. But yes, I'm gonna go, my eyes look so dark. I'm gonna get ready to do some filming and editing and work for the rest of the day, and I will check in with you when we pick our next read. Okay, so that was actually a pretty productive day, but I'm not feeling great right now, so I have got the comfies on, and I think it is time to start a new book. Got some work done, did my studying. I am ready to be horizontal. The book I've chosen is Heavenly Bodies. This has been raved about. This is now traditionally being republished, the whole series. I believe it's a trilogy, I think, which were indie published and now they're coming out traditionally republished. So this is book 1 of the Heavenly Bodies series, and the the quote here says, "Can love overcome fate?" So this one, let's read what the blurb is. It says, "In a world ruled by the cruel and merciless stars, Elara has been cursed by fate. A prophecy promises she will fall for a star, but that it will kill them both. So when Ariette, star of wrath and war, descends to wreak havoc on Elara's kingdom of night, she flees her home, only to be captured by the neighbouring Helios, kingdom of light, and fall straight into the arms of an enemy prince. Fearing that Ariette might turn his sights to Helios next, Prince Lorenzo is forced to train Elara as a weapon, one worthy of battling against the tyrannical reign of the stars. But there are shadows even within the kingdom of light, and they threaten to reveal the darkness in Lorenzo's past and the ancient magic that slumbers in Elara's veins. And with it all comes an undeniable star-crossed pull between Elara and Lorenzo that neither can seem to resist." I'm ready. I've heard there's lots of yearning. That's all I've really heard, and we love a celestial fantasy series. So I'm ready to start this. I think the second one comes out in Canada at least in November this year, so I don't feel too bad starting a new series as the other books aren't out yet, because it means I can give myself some grace rather than sitting here with a pile of 3 books that I need to read. So anyways, let's lie down and let's read this one. Hello. It is the next day. I'm having a very diabetic day today. My entire body hurts. So I got a little bit of work done today. I did some studying and I genuinely can't even say sitting in a chair. So that's just where we're at. It's not fab. Sometimes when I get like this, my concentration isn't great. So we'll see. I'm going to try reading for a bit now and we'll see how that goes. I got about 100 pages into Heavenly Bodies last night, and this is very classic romantasy, I would say. It's got the sort of Greek-inspired mythos. It's celestial. There's enemies to lovers. You're really thrown into the deep end at the beginning. You start the book and she's in the midst of being kidnapped, and there's training going on. There's a really interesting sort of enemies to lovers being established, I think. There's lots of moving parts. There's the fated sort of prophecy that's going on that I'm not really sure how is going to pan out. I'm very interested. I'm intrigued. And yeah, I was just very, very hooked. It's really gripped me so far. I can't wait to continue. It's also had one of my favorite microtropes, and I didn't realize that this was a favorite of mine until it happened. I was like, this hits every single time. And that was when he knows what she likes to eat. Someone offered her tea, and they were like, oh, how would you like it? And he replied for her, knowing how she likes her tea. And I loved that. That's one of my favorite microtropes, is them paying enough attention to those small details. I really loved it. So yeah, I learned something new about myself while reading this book. But I think, yeah, just staying horizontal as much as possible. My body is in not the most comfortable shape today, but we're just gonna take it easy, see if I can concentrate. Otherwise, probably have some naps and maybe watch some TV if it doesn't work out. We're just having a sofa sick day. That's what's happening, and I love this. It's very cheeky and yet kind of achy at the same time. Great vocabulary there, Kate. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. It just got so dark and drizzly outside. I did find another microtrope that I enjoyed. I think that's what this is going to be throughout this book. I'm just finding the little tropes I love. But this is the one where 2 characters who are very obviously into each other but haven't told each other yet. Something happens between them, and one of them's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This was a mistake. And the other character goes, yeah, cool. I was going to say the same thing, even though both of them don't want it to be a mistake. Love. Delicious. This is such a tease. This book is such a tease. goodness. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Yes, we're back on track. We're back on track. What is going on? I genuinely don't think I could come up with a cohesive thought if I tried right now, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to sit with that and check in the morning, because 5 stars. 5 stars. 6 stars. This was like... This was such like classic romantasy. I felt like this gave me all of the feelings that, you know, you kind of chase with those books sometimes. I loved this. I wish I read this while this was indie published so that I could immediately binge the second and third book. So I'm gonna have to wait until November, I think, until the second one. They actually just released the cover today. I feel like this is kind of a theme while I'm reading series at the moment. Things are getting announced while I'm in the middle of the series, so happy about that. Oh, this was so good. This had just so many like classic romantasy elements with like twists and turns, and it just got me. It got me. This was phenomenal. I loved this. I loved this. I did hear that there was some changes between the indie published version and the traditionally published version. There was a few changes. I don't know what those were, obviously, because I did not read the indie version, but this was so good. I think I'm going to wrap this reading vlog up here. This was actually an extremely like positive reading vlog. We did When the Moon Hatched, Our Infinite Fates, and Heavenly Bodies. This was like beautiful. This was a nice little stack. This one, the first one, was very ambitious. I'm excited to see where this series goes. Yeah, just very excited. The Our Infinite Fates was a standalone and it just hurt. And then Heavenly Bodies was also just super gripping, super fast paced, and I just ate it up. I honestly, if I hadn't been interrupted, I could have read this in one sitting. This is a one sitting kind of book. It flew by, and it ended on a note that I need the second book yesterday. But yes, I'm going to end this reading vlog here. Thank you for joining me for another mood reading vlog. It's been lovely filming it, and if you want to give this video a like or subscribe if you are so inclined, it does help me as I grow my channel. As always, the comments are my favourite part. I love chatting with you guys about books. There have been so many people reaching out recently just on like older videos talking about the books that we have been reading, and it was just such a joy. It makes my day every time. I love it. Thank you again. I think next week will be a spring book haul. There's a sale going on at a bookshop near me, so I'm going to absolutely take advantage of that. And yeah, thank you. I'll see you in the next one.